Welcome to the Jack Journey podcast. Do you ever wonder why what you're saying just isn't landing with the people you're talking to? Or maybe they're not responding the way that you'd like? Could be because your body language is saying the exact opposite of what you want it to. Unbelievably, more than half of our communication comes from our body language. And that's why today's episode is all about mastering the art of body language for magnetics and impact. I can't wait to dive right in. I am a body language enthusiast because I know how powerful it can be, especially when done correctly. It affects your personal life, your professional life. It can even play a big part in your own self-esteem. So we're going to share my top 10 things you can do right now today to improve your body language and start winning people over and making the right kind of impression. Really quickly, just close your eyes and count to 3. Now open them up. That quick, brief moment, that's longer than you have to make a great first impression. That's right. When you meet someone, their brain is basically taking a quicker snapshot of you than your iPhone can. I mean, in a blink, it's making snap judgments on your likability, competence, attractiveness, even your trustworthiness. And this is all based on your body language. And all of this happens before you even have time to speak a single word. This is why it's so critical to be aware of what your body is saying and doing. It is a huge factor in helping you be heard, be liked, be respected, and of course, be more irresistible. You know, it's so interesting. I've noticed over the years with friends, colleagues, family, people I've hired and trained to work on camera, everyone focuses so much on the words they want to say. They'll spend hours on it, but they completely forget to think about their body language, which we now know is statistically more than half of the conversation. The science of body language is also called kinesics, and it's really fascinating. There have been tons of scientific studies done exploring its impact and shedding light on why it's so essential in our daily lives. For instance, some studies suggest it contributes up to 70% of the overall message. That includes nonverbal cues like facial expressions, gestures, and postures. They all play a crucial role in conveying your emotions, your attitudes, and your intentions. One study conducted by a professor named Albert Mehrabian, he found that these nonverbal cues like body language, tone of voice, they play a much more significant role in conveying feelings and attitudes than the actual words spoken. And according to his research, only 7% of your message is conveyed through the actual words, while around 55% is attributed to body language and 38% to the tone of your voice. It's crazy, right? These findings really underscore the power of body language and highlight how important it is to pay attention to it if we want to effectively convey our intended message. When it comes to daily life, mastering body language can hugely improve our personal and professional interactions. Improved body language is going to help you build trust, establish rapport, and deepen connections with others. It'll also enhance your ability to express yourself, be understood, and influence those around you positively. When you implement these body language tips, your life is going to be amazing, so much better. You're going to become a captivating communicator, able to express yourself confidently and authentically. People are more drawn to you, to your presence, and respect your opinions when your body language syncs up with the words that you're actually speaking. I cannot emphasize this enough, how important and how impactful it can be. In personal relationships, body language can strengthen the bond between people, help foster trust and intimacy. Professionally, having strong body language can boost your career prospects, allowing you to make lasting impressions during things like interviews, presentations, networking events. It's also important to be aware of the common mistakes that we all make in body language that can adversely affect your life and your communication skills. Things like avoiding eye contact, crossing your arms, slouching, fidgeting, lacking an awareness of personal space. All of these behaviors can create barriers and signal that you're disinterested or even convey insecurity. But by addressing these mistakes and implementing some of the positive body language tips that I've got up next, you can transform how others perceive you and how you engage with others. All right, enough of the science. Let's get down to it. Here are my top 10 tips to immediately improve your body language. Number 1, eye contact, the secret handshake to the soul. And, maintaining good eye contact is critical. That's why it's number one. If you want to build trust and establish a connection with other people, because it shows attentiveness, sincerity, and confidence. The science behind this lies in the release of oxytocin. It's a hormone associated with bonding when we make eye contact. And by practicing good eye contact in your daily life, you can significantly improve your relationships, personally and professionally. So practice making eye contact while speaking or listening to someone without staring them down. Be natural, be genuine, and don't stare. And watch as people begin to be drawn to you, valuing your presence and valuing your opinions. As you improve your eye contact skills, you're going to be able to forge deeper connections, build trust, and even gain influence. I learned this skill years ago from the great Billy Bob Thornton. In my opinion, he is the eye contact ninja. We were filming his band's live concert. He's actually a really talented musician, by the way. And I was interviewing him before the concert. And from the moment we met, shook hands, he was completely engaged in the conversation. And I knew it because he consistently kept eye contact with me. It made me feel listened to and important. I had no doubt in my mind that he was present, he was listening, he was connected to the conversation. And I left that interview knowing I need to next level my eye contact game and start doing exactly the same thing. It has made a huge difference for me, whether I'm being interviewed, interviewing someone else, or just in daily conversation. I highly recommend it. Number 2, respect other people's space. This is a big one. One of the fastest ways to make someone feel uncomfortable, especially when the closeness is uninvited. So make sure you respect other people's personal space. It's vital in establishing boundaries and demonstrating a respect for other people. The science behind this lies in the concept of proxemics, which refers to the study of personal space and how it affects all of our in-person interactions. When you give others the appropriate physical distance, you create a more comfortable environment and you're showing them consideration. In practice, just being aware of their personal space bubbles and adjusting your distance accordingly, it really does make a difference. Pay attention to their social cues as well. People will let you know with their own body language if they're starting to feel uncomfortable. You need to respect their comfort zones. And when you do this, you can build positive relationships, reduce tension, and create an environment of trust and respect. In my work, I've interviewed a lot of people, and the only 2 real disastrous interviews I've ever done were both because the other person did not respect my personal space and my boundaries. Both of these were years ago. I started working in television when I was just a teenager. Back then, I didn't have the confidence that I have now, and I didn't know how to assert myself, especially interviewing people that were very famous and, in my eyes at the time, more powerful. All I can say is, don't ever let anyone intimidate you into feeling or doing anything that makes you uncomfortable. And you definitely don't want to be a space invader yourself, so keep the personal space rule in mind. Number 3, the power of touch. I immediately want to preface this by saying, when appropriate. Let me say that again, when appropriate and only when appropriate. Touch is humanizing. It creates more of a connection. Just be absolutely sure that it's welcomed. When it's welcomed, human touch is a really powerful means of communication that can convey emotions, comfort, and support. Numerous studies have shown that touch releases oxytocin, fostering these feelings of trust and bonding. However, again, it is really essential to exercise caution here and ensure that the touch is appropriate and consensual. Some of the most common acceptable touches are a warm, firm handshake, a pat on the back, a friendly hug. All of these go a long way in establishing connections and deepening relationships. With mindful and appropriate touch, you can enhance those personal and professional interactions, making others feel valued and strengthening the bonds between you. Number 4, mirroring. This is absolutely one of my favorites, and in case you're unfamiliar, it refers to subtly imitating the body language of the person you're engaging with. It almost instantly creates a sense of rapport, trust, and similarity. The science behind this lies in the phenomenon of neural synchronization, where this mirroring activates mirror neurons in our brains, and it leads to a sense of connection and empathy. You can implement this by observing the other person's body language and then mimicking it subtly. It's a bit of a dance. This one you may have to practice a bit. You don't want it to be like Copycat or Simon Says. It has to be so subtle that the other person doesn't even recognize that's what you're doing. That's key. The idea is to match their posture, gestures, facial expressions, not immediately after. Give it a beat. And remember, it should be natural and authentic, not a forced imitation. By practicing mirroring, you're going to establish rapport much more quickly, build trust more quickly, and generally foster better communication and understanding with others. It's a very, very powerful tool. Number 5, good posture. Good posture not only helps you present a confident and assertive image, but it also has a positive impact on your mood. Did you know that? Your energy levels, your overall well-being, all positively affected by good posture. It's pretty amazing. Research has shown that proper posture can boost self-confidence and absolutely influence how others perceive you. So here's what you do. Consciously maintain an upright posture with your shoulders back, head held high, and spine aligned. Even do some exercises to strengthen your core muscles if you like. They play a significant role in maintaining good posture. The important thing to remember here is stand tall, sit straight. It signals confidence and that you respect yourself, and others will respect you too. Exude confidence, project authority, and enhance your own physical and mental well-being, all with good posture. Number 6, smile. Nothing disarms people more than a genuine smile. You can't fake it or try too hard. You have to smile naturally. Here's a little tip. If you're not in the best mood, remind yourself of someone or something that truly makes you happy just for a brief moment to get the authentic smile. That's what I do, and it works really well. Smiling is one of the fastest ways to make a new friend, and it also shows you're confident and willing to connect in some way with the other person. The power of a smile is undeniable. Smiling not only makes you more approachable and likable, but it has psychological benefits. When we smile, our brain releases endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, all boost our mood and create positive feelings. So make a conscious effort to smile genuinely and frequently. Smile when meeting someone new, during conversations, when greeting others, even when you're alone. It's going to make you feel better. When you're smiling, you're creating a welcoming and positive atmosphere. You're making other people feel comfortable, and it's going to improve your overall well-being. Win-win, win-win. Number 7, it's nodding. Show you're engaged in the conversation and do a little bit of nodding. Listen and acknowledge the other person and what they're saying, but don't overdo it. Don't be a dashboard bobblehead. Nodding is a fantastic nonverbal cue when not overdone, but it signals agreement, understanding, and again, engagement. It shows you're actively listening as opposed to, I'm only pretending to listen. I know, we've all done that. Genuine nodding encourages the speaker to continue sharing. The science behind this lies again in the concept of social mirroring and the power of positive reinforcement. Try nodding occasionally while someone is speaking. You simply want to signal that you're attentive, you're interested, you're with them in the conversation. And when you combine nodding with appropriate verbal cues here and there that show you're truly engaged, that's even better. But don't interrupt the person, let them speak. So start doing a little more nodding to establish more rapport and create more effective communication. You're going to create a welcome environment where others feel heard and valued. And that's what we all want, right? To feel heard and valued. Number 8, open gestures. Open gestures such as open arms, uncrossed legs, these convey a sense of openness, approachability, and trustworthiness. They signal that you're receptive to others and you're willing to engage. So avoid crossing your arms or legs. It can make you seem defensive or unapproachable. The science behind this tip lies in the concept of nonverbal immediacy. That's where open body language promotes positive interaction. So essentially, be mindful of your body positioning. Keep your arms relaxed and avoid crossing them. Maintain an open stance and face the person you're conversing with. With these more open gestures, you create an inviting atmosphere, encourage collaboration, and can build meaningful connections. So don't be closed off. Number 9, use your hands. They can reinforce your words when you do it right. But remember, we're speaking to people, not directing traffic. So unless it's your style and people really, 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 really like it, don't go overboard. Gesturing with your hands while speaking can enhance communication and make your message more engaging. Research has shown that hand gestures activate areas of the brain associated with speech and language production. So try this out. Allow yourself some different natural hand gestures when expressing yourself. Let your hands add clarity to your words. Again, be mindful of excessive or distracting gestures that do more harm than good, but by using your hands purposefully, you can communicate more effectively, capture attention, and make your interactions much more memorable. Number 10, controlled movements. This is big. Avoid fidgeting or quick, jerky movements. This is so distracting and can signal nervousness. You want to look comfortable in your own skin, and when you're fidgeting, it says exactly the opposite. Controlled movements. These refer to intentional and deliberate body language where your actions are more precise, purposeful, and in sync with your words. That conveys confidence, poise, and very importantly, credibility. The science behind this lies in a concept called congruence, where aligning your body language with your verbal message creates a kind of harmony, and it absolutely can enhance your persuasiveness. That is huge. Try this out. Practice conscious movements. Avoid fidgeting, excessive pacing, erratic gestures, all of those very bad. Instead, aim for deliberate and controlled movements that support and reinforce your message. By mastering controlled movements, you project confidence, increase your influence, and command attention. All right, well, that's my top 10. Body language is such a powerful tool. I hope you see that now, and it can significantly impact your interactions, your relationships. And by understanding the science behind it a little bit and practicing these top 10 body language tips I've given you, you can project confidence, build connections, and influence people positively. Embracing strong body language techniques can open doors to opportunities, enhance your personal and professional life, and help you achieve the extraordinary. So stand tall, make eye contact, and let your body language speak volumes in your journey to living with confidence, courage, and style. Mastering these basics, which you absolutely can do in no time at all, is going to make you feel so much more confident in social and professional settings. It's also going to help you be more magnetic. We're going to talk much more about magnetics in upcoming episodes. You won't want to miss that. But body language is critical. It's one of those building blocks to mastering the effortless charm and confidence that some of the greats like Matthew McConaughey have. All right, one last note. I want you to remember that body language isn't one size fits all, and context is king. So remember, a boardroom isn't a barbecue, and a first date isn't a funeral. Context is key. So in a professional setting, confidence is king. Maintain that eye contact. Use those open gestures. Own your own space. But in a social setting, warmth is generally the winner. Smile a lot, show genuine interest, use light touches if it's appropriate. Remember, it's always all about making the other person feel comfortable and valued. Body language can transform your conversations. And like any new skill, it is going to take a bit of practice, so be patient with yourself. I have a super helpful downloadable, and it's a fantastic way to hone your body language skills, identify your individual strengths and weaknesses, and implement everything we've talked about today to get those faster results. So if you haven't already, click on the link and get yours now so you can fill it out and start mastering your body language even faster. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited for you. You're taking the steps, making the moves. You're not just dreaming, you're doing, and that's what it takes. So remember, communication is one of the most important tools in our toolbox, so make every move count. Until next time, that's a wrap.